Hello, dear soul. Did you know that the way we show up in our reality daily is creating a pace of our ascension? It is creating the pace of our embodiment and our evolutionary process. You see, the collective field of humanity, planetary consciousness, and universal consciousness has shifted into a higher octave. It means that more of universal principles of creation they are to be channeled, embodied, and conveyed through our vessels now. And the fundamental principle of for every single sentient being and humankind especially is to build a strong spiritual house within our hearts. You see, humanity has been going through so many different dynamics for the last 2 centuries. Apart from the known history, which is full on itself, there is something else and so much that has been taking place behind the scenes, what has always been kept secret from the mainstream consciousness of humans. There are always parallel realities where the multitude of dynamics are taking place simultaneously. So humanity as an organism, as an intelligence has been continuously going through the vastness of different experiences and dynamics. In the past, humanity was learning and engaging in activities that were reflecting the duality of creation. And right now, we have reached a certain level in our collective spiritual maturity where new pathways have already been opened up. In fact, the transition took place a while ago, um, more than a decade ago, yet at the same time, we have entered a different spiritual era. The astrological blueprint for this timeline of ascension is fundamentally different. And it means that right now, you and I, and all beings, sentient beings, and all souls that are incarnated in human form, we all are to awaken to the fact that old ways and old principles of scarcity they are no longer applicable to the new energetic grids. Timelines are moving very fast. We are living in the era of rapid changes, and we are the souls who have been sent forth, brought forth, and invited to be pillars of universal consciousness on this earth, galactic consciousness, angelic consciousness, and consciousness of love, Christ Spirit itself. So, long story short, what is requested of us is to relook and reevaluate our old ways. It is important for every single being to know that we come from the field of love and we are sovereign co creators of our reality. The old pathways of spiritual ascension have been directing human consciousness and the flow of evolution through knowing duality, through knowing scarcity, through detaching from physical body, from detaching from earthly experiences in order to know the spirit self. There has been a sacrifice of physical expression and earthly expression in order to connect to higher intelligence. And please know that I'm not talking about some dark rituals here. I am saying that in the past, everything that was related to the topic of physical expression was considered as something animalistic, lower dimensional, and wrong. And right now, dear one, we have tapped into a different, more extended spaciousness within ourselves, more expanded and free, liberated, and authentic stream of consciousness, which is inviting us to learn what's more, what it's like to connect to the spirit within without compromising integrity, without compromising or manipulating any part of creation within ourselves and around us. So the new era is the era of golden consciousness and consciousness of love. And the first step for every one of us is to create a strong spiritual house within ourselves. And it means that having a strong energetic field, which is not sustainable for any kind of energetic manipulation, any kind of energetic conflict. You see, spiritual boundaries, spiritual field, and energetic field means not being part of conflict, but being connected to the sovereign domain, which is directly linked to the intelligence of your soul that is free, that is God alike, and that is sovereign. So, when we are creating a strong energetic field, when we are creating a strong energetic and spiritual house within ourselves, we automatically step out of old grids of manipulation, scarcity, violence, survival, and all of that. All of that that has already been so well explored. And the first pathway to do so is to activate consciousness of the heart. And this is when you would be saying, how? First is returning back to the virtues of our heart chakra, returning back to the very foundation of any spiritual movement, which is honesty, discernment, trustworthiness, empathy, and devotion. These are the principles that always stand as pillars for energetic embodiment and energetic communication between your mind, your heart, and your spirit. Trustworthiness means loyalty, devotion to your own self. You see, dear one, if you are truly devoted and committed to your own heart, if you are devoted and loyal and respectful to your own words, you communicate integrity into the field of creation. Your auric field literally communicates safety, clarity, and environment in which other beings feeling safe to be themselves. When your words they're matching your intentions, when your intentions and words are matching your actions, you are creating a very clear channel and a pathway for your own frequency to communicate with the field of creation, to communicate with other beings, to communicate with timelines, to communicate with dimensional realities, to communicate with realms. And more authenticity you embody, the more clarity you communicate to the field of creation, the more clarity would be reflected to you. You would be less bothered and concerned by how, when, and what. And the focus of awareness from your mental field would be shifted directly into your heart. And through the portal of your heart, you would be connecting to the deeper knowing, intuitive knowing, and sensing realities through your heart rather than intellectually seeking for pathways how to make things happen the way you want them to happen, how to manifest reality. You will become the vessel for manifestation. You become the portal through which energy manifests. And conveying clarity, conveying authenticity is the fundamental principle. The next one is empathy. Humanity, we are divine beings. We are not only coded with reptilian DNA, angelic DNA, and other strands of DNA. We are coded overall with the intelligence of Source. And intelligence of Source is the intelligence of kindness and love. Consciousness of separation works the way that it creates division between species, it creates membranes between chakra points, it creates separation and fragmentation between intelligence of mind, intelligence of heart, and intelligence of soul. And this is well reflected in the history of humanity, where we've all been fighting with each other. And until nowadays, there is so much conflict that is taking place externally, and there is even more conflict that is taking place internally, to be honest. The honesty is always a sign of sanity. So the more honest you are with yourself, the more sane you become. And once you become more sane, you get to see everything beyond perspective of duality. You get to see what is stored within the templates of your subconscious mind. And this is when You are to look from the higher vantage point on all that has been within your system for many, many, many decades, sometimes many even lifetimes, and be so empathetic. Hold yourself with compassion, hold yourself with love, and then apply the same approach to those who are around you. Extend your love, your kindness, your softness, your gentleness to others around you to the point where they feel safe to be in your presence, to heal, to the point that they feel safe in your presence, to let go of the shields that they have built around their hearts, and to welcome themselves into the spirit and the essence of love, light, harmony, Christ consciousness, unity consciousness, and love consciousness itself. So you see how empathy is healing, how empathy initiates healing, how empathy brings restorative energies and healing modalities to earth and to those who are around you. So, dear soul, next time when you would be in your reality guided to the timeline where you are making a choice to act out of integrity or to act your integrity in a way that is in alignment with the purity of your heart. Know that by making this choice, you are creating two different timelines for yourself, and you will be experiencing this timeline. Every time when we communicate to others what we do not mean, what we do not intend, or when we want external environment to be understood by us, but in a way that we want to manipulate external reality and environment to fit our expectations, we are fooling ourselves only because we are simply selecting the timeline of illusion and confusion and just prolonging the cycle of questioning and seeking. So being authentic, being truthful, and being honest takes a lot of courage, and it's a known fact. However, by practicing with diligence this approach and this way of being creates a strong energetic boundary where you are no longer sustainable to really funny frequencies, to funny dynamics, where you are no longer consenting and subscribing subconsciously for any energetic manipulation, for paradigms of slavery, paradigms of poverty and victimhood. You see, everything about the way we express ourselves truly matters. There is never an error in creation, and everything that you think, everything that you say, and everything that you do is recorded in your auric field. So, in order to bring yourself into the timeline, into coherence, and to merge yourself with the version of your high dimensional consciousness, it is important to learn how to rebuild your spiritual house, how to rebuild and how to strengthen your energy body, how to strengthen your spiritual and energetic boundaries, but not to protect yourself or separate yourself from the world, but actually for your boundary, for your field, for your energetic sanctuary, for your temple, for your vessel, physical, energetic, and emotional, to be the activation station, to be the trigger point for entire field of creation to receive authenticity, clarity, trustworthiness, empathy through your field. And by doing so, you are creating change in your environment and you're launching a movement and a spiritual wave of consciousness that those who are around you would be impacted by in a beautiful way, in a way that invites them to do the same. Removing lies, removing dishonesty, removing false realities, removing false timelines, removing false codes and artificial codes from our system is important. And instead of engaging in all ways, we all are invited to engage, download new ways of being, which is being kind, compassionate, loving, honest, empathetic, caring, gentle, generous, and supportive of each other. Empathy is the future of humanity. Love and kindness is our operational system. We are all to learn it, and we all are to apply to ourselves first, to our past versions, to our future versions, to our present versions. And then we are to communicate it to those who are around us. Dear soul, I hope you enjoyed watching this message. Please know that beyond physical and verbal communication, it is a communication that takes place on frequency and levels, and behind the scenes, you have been receiving those codes into your system. And I'm inviting you, after watching this video, to hydrate your system by drinking clear water. Hydrate your system by engaging in activities that amplify the beauty of your heart and make you feel relaxed, loved, supported, that inspire you and invite you to inspire others. Hydrate your system by being surrounded by those who love you. Hydrate your system by kind and loving thoughts, and hydrate yourself by giving yourself a big, wonderful hug. And I hope this message serves you well. And I hope that by receiving these codes into your system, you will eventually realign yourself even more to realities of clarity, authenticity, happiness, abundance, and joy. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm sending you lots of love. Until the next time, dear soul. Namaste.